thanks for coming over, having me for this section here. The name is Johnson, okay, and obviously you can tell I'm Chinese, and I represent the City University of Hong Kong. The shorter name for our university is called CityU. It's on my chest here, on my T-shirt. So thanks for dropping by again. So this section here today, I will first begin with 5 to 6 minutes videos, to wait for the others to come by. Okay, so after this video is over, I will go into a presentation to tell you about what is being offered in Hong Kong and at CityU for you guys, for Turkish students. Okay. All right, so here we go. This is the video. I hope
a place where fresh ideas and creativity meet. A home for world-class faculty pursuing problem-driven research. A center of excellence for developing the talent needed in tomorrow's world. This is City University of Hong Kong. Our commitment to innovation and creativity is making a real difference in people's lives. CityU has become a leading global university, making tremendous achievements in professional education and research.
Technological innovation holds great promise for enhancing life. We are committed to advancing the frontiers of knowledge through our groundbreaking discoveries and top-level research.
CityU gathers some of the best minds in the world. It is an ideal place for interacting with other scholars from around the world and provides potential for exciting collaborations.
My aspiration is to bring international competitive edge in education and research to Hong Kong so that we can cultivate the engineering talent of tomorrow.
In our veterinary research projects, we have to work across disciplines and directly engage policymakers to produce research that benefits society.
Through our research, we hope to improve the sustainability of local aquaculture and create an industry with high added value.
CityU is a dynamic hub for innovative ideas and interdisciplinary research, and for advancing the frontiers of science, engineering, and the liberal arts.
We are bridging the existing boundaries between art and science with exciting new interactive and immersive technologies.
CityU has risen in the university rankings to become a leading global university. At CityU, you can dream big. We provide a nurturing environment, space for creativity and critical thinking, plus opportunities to discover and innovate. For so many students, this is the place to develop your entrepreneurship and professional leadership skills.
Our internationally recognized invention helps to improve food safety and reveal the power of entrepreneurship at CityU.
I chose the FAD program in Hong Kong because it makes me reflect on the way we see and treat different animals. The program provides a comprehensive curriculum of international standard.
After taking an engineering doctorate program at CityU, I'm inspired to dedicate myself to the revitalizations of Hong Kong's industrial sector by serving as a bridge between industry and academia.
Many CityU alumni are taking leadership roles in a diversity of professions. My passion is uniting alumni to advance the university and serve the community.
I want my invention to change people's lives. I dreamed big and it paid off.
CityU is a diverse campus where different cultures and languages exist side by side. Whatever your dreams, we offer the ideal destination for enriching your life.
The CityU Student Exchange Program enriches my life. I can see the beauty of the world by different cultures and passion of people.
CityU is one of the best places to learn how to become a global citizen.
City University of Hong Kong integrates teaching and research. In doing this, we educate leaders for tomorrow and produce research that's helping to make the world a better place. That's why we excel.
CityU is a leading global university that continues to move, innovate, learn, teach, and prosper. It's an ideal place for people to fly high and meet their aspirations.
Okay, so I'm back after the video is over now, and I'll begin with my presentation here. Oh, this is not the first page. This is all right. So welcome again. I see there are some newcomers here. So just to introduce myself again, my name is Johnson, and I represent the City University of Hong Kong. The shorter name for our university is called CityU. Okay. And I'm actually an alumnus of CityU as well. I graduated 10 years ago from the College of Business. So my major back in the days was marketing. And eventually I went out to some industry. I come back to work for the university again. So I do know the university quite well. Right. So first of all, I think I should first introduce Hong Kong to you guys. I'm not sure whether you have attended any other, university admission talks hosted by some other universities. These days we have got a couple of very good universities out there in Hong Kong, and I know that they are also recruiting Turkish students. But then for those of you who are not too familiar with Hong Kong, okay, I always start with this. Okay, I think some of you guys might be familiar with the faces here. You see some of them. Okay, so Bruce Lee, definitely. Okay, all these guys, they share one same story. They all came from Hong Kong, basically, these guys here, and they are some of the best action stars, probably not from these days, from your parents' generation, I guess. Okay, but they are still well known in the world. Hong Kong is actually quite well known. I would say that we produce the best action movies in the world. Okay, better than the Hollywood ones, definitely. I can tell you that. Okay, not sure whether you have watched their movies before. If you haven't, you should watch them. Okay, they are very good 5 stars. And in Hong Kong, we are a very internationalized cities. Okay, how you can tell that? Because one of the reason why is we have a Disneyland here in Hong Kong. Okay, so in Asia, I think currently there are only 3 Disneylands, if I remember correctly. One of them is in Tokyo, in Japan. The other one is in another city in mainland China, Shanghai. So the third one is actually in Hong Kong. All right, more about Hong Kong, more movies. Okay, we often, apart from these action movies, you always see Hong Kong on the news. It's always mentioned. Our stock market is always mentioned in the news. We have one of the largest stock market, comparable to the ones in New York, in London, etc. Okay, Hong Kong has always been the one of this prominent economic financial center here in Asia. And here, actually, this is the central business district, okay, and where Godzilla fights this monster called King Kong, I think so. This movie came out a few months ago. If you have watched it, well, great. Then you actually can see the real buildings out there. Those are all the real buildings in Hong Kong. Okay, these two monsters actually tear apart the city when they fight in the in their final battle. So if you would like to look at Hong Kong from another angle, then I would recommend you to watch this movie. Hong Kong is actually also well known for being one of the food capital of the world, because obviously as I have said, we have all these different people living here in Hong Kong. They come from all parts of the world. We have got European people, we definitely have got Turkish here, and then we have people come from the States. We have people coming from Japan, Korea. Actually, it's all mixed, Southeast Asia countries. We have a great mix of people here. So, which is why, basically in Hong Kong, Hong Kong is a very tiny city, but you'll be surprised to see that actually along the street, okay, in the urban area, you'll be surprised to see there are all kinds of restaurants. Okay, I'm not sure whether you're into Korean food. These days, they have a lot of Korean restaurants out there. Of course, authentic Chinese food as well. And actually, there have been a few pretty good authentic Turkish restaurants that I get to visit quite often here in Hong Kong. They ran, the operations. They're operated by the Turkish people here. So why Hong Kong? Okay, I mentioned about the movies, all that. Okay, so why Hong Kong as an ideal study destination for you guys? First of all, okay, since Hong Kong is one of this economic prominence in Asia, I would say that it's a great place for any international students to start off their career with in Hong Kong. So recently, I've got one Turkish student who just graduated from last year. She is a girl who joined us. She studied in one of this school called Robert College in Istanbul. She joined us 4 years ago, and recently she graduated, and she entered. She was majored in this energy and sustainability, specialty, and she joined one of this. I think it's sustainability company, international company here in Hong Kong, and she started off with a pretty good job, pretty decent salary here in Hong Kong. So I would say, for international students like you guys, even though if you are not able to, you don't have any Chinese knowledge, right? Basically, that's the thing I'm trying to tell you here. So if you live in Hong Kong and work in Hong Kong, it's not required for you to know at all Chinese. I mean, you don't have to pick up Chinese language here, because English is actually one of our official language here in Hong Kong, and you will be able to be exposed to all this career opportunities, given that you have no knowledge of Chinese. So Chinese is not a compulsory thing that you have to pick up. And secondly, okay, in terms of the environment here in Hong Kong is a very beautiful city. Okay, you see all these photos from the movies. We have all this urban landscape out there, all these high rises. But on the other hand, actually, if you come by Hong Kong, or if you happen to visit Hong Kong, you'll be surprised to see that actually Hong Kong is surrounded by the sea. Hong Kong is a city that is comprised of multiple islands. Okay, so basically we are a coastal city. We are just next to the sea, much like Istanbul and Izmir. Okay, and the one thing that I will mention is that on our campus, actually, we have all these dedicated blocks of apartment buildings, as you can see on the right-hand side of this photo here. All these buildings are actually the student residence that we reserve for international students. And it is a very safe place to live on the campus. Generally speaking, Hong Kong is a very safe city. So Hong Kong here, more information about Hong Kong, the opportunities for graduates, okay? So according to the latest government statistics, okay, I think these days we have more than 9,000, close to 10,000 international companies that chooses Hong Kong as their regional headquarters, Asia headquarters, or to set up their offices here. And in Hong Kong, we have a very high employment rates. I think the employment rate currently is 94 to 95%. So that's pretty much, you can imagine when you graduate from the university completing your bachelor degree program, 95%, okay, of chance you can get a job here. So that's basically not a difficult thing for you to look for a job here. And so the visa arrangement here at Hong Kong is very straightforward, okay? I think some of you may consider studying overseas. When you think of studying overseas, you think about United States, you think about UK, you think about Canada or Australia. These are the popular destinations. We all understand that. But behind the scene, you also have to understand their visa arrangement, okay? So Hong Kong, comparatively speaking, is very straightforward, okay? So if you are completing a bachelor degree here in Hong Kong at CityU, depending on what degree you're taking, except for one degree, which should take 6 years. That was the veterinary medicine degree program at our university. The rest of the degrees are basically 4 years degree. Okay, so while you're taking a degree and completing a degree, once you graduate, you have already stayed in Hong Kong for 4 years. If you can manage to look for a job and stay for 3 more years in Hong Kong, so basically that's totally 7 years. And once you reach that 7 years, you will be automatically get this a permanent residency and become one of these permanent residents in Hong Kong, and you can enjoy the rest of the benefits just like us. So that was about Hong Kong. So, but then why CityU? Firstly, I have to let you know that in Hong Kong, we have a couple of very good universities. I think out of the 8 public universities here in Hong Kong, us included, we are also one of these public university. We received this funding from the government to develop our programs. Out of these 8 publicly funded universities, I think 5 of them are currently being ranked on the top 100. Okay, and our university is actually top 55 universities. I'll cover the part about rankings later on. Okay, so what I'm trying to tell you is that our university, in terms of rankings, is actually very promising. Okay, given that we are one of the youngest university in Hong Kong, and English is the teaching medium here across all the universities. Okay, so you don't have to worry about whether you have to pick up any Chinese at all. Okay, I mentioned it to you that there was this student who graduated this year and joined the international company working for the sustainability field. So she didn't pick up any Chinese at all throughout the 4 years of studies. Okay, so she basically joined this company and worked as one of its employees, speaking in English. So English is the teaching medium and also the official language here in Hong Kong, one of the official language apart from Chinese. And as a public university, we receive very strong government support, and which is why we are quite resourceful when it comes to scholarship, giving away scholarships and grants. Okay, I'll cover the part about grants. We actually, our university, CityU, has developed a very special grant for Turkish students. Okay, you'll learn about that, if you stay tuned until the end of this section. Okay, I don't think at this moment other university is offering this grant. Okay, I'll tell you about that later on. Snapshots. Okay, I told you that our university is one of the youngest university in Hong Kong, so you will be surprised to see actually a lot of buildings, a lot of architectures on our campuses. They're quite new, and some of them are quite weird looking. You see this Creative Media Center here. I couldn't find another building which looks like this in Hong Kong. All right, so opportunities. Okay, more opportunities. I'm not sure whether you are familiar with the surrounding cities next to Hong Kong, but actually, Hong Kong as a coastal city along the southern coast of China, we are surrounded by other neighboring cities, from China. So these days, Hong Kong has become the leading city in what we call the Greater Bay Area. The Greater Bay Area is actually a composition of multiple China cities, and Hong Kong is the leading city, which drives the development of other cities. So these days, our graduates, especially our international graduates, some of them can actually have the chance to work, not just in Hong Kong, but in some other places as well, because there are a lot of demand for international talents in a lot of cities in China. And CityU is actually specialized in a few areas, especially in engineering. We have one of the finest business college in Asia. And we also have a very good computer science program. But of course, we have many other programs, which I will cover in the coming slides. Okay, so this part is about the rankings. I mentioned it to you that we are being highly ranked, and this is actually the truth. As you can see here, according to QS World University Rankings, okay, this is not the Asia rankings. This is basically the world rankings. We are being ranked as the world's 53rd university in 2022, but then our university is just barely reaching 32 years of history. Okay, so you can see, I told you that I graduated 10 years ago, right? So 10 years ago, that was like 2011, right? So back in my year of graduation, you see where we were and now where we are. Okay, so this is how quickly we have risen through the rankings recently. So what are the faculties at our university? Okay, we don't call our faculties, we call them colleges and schools at CityU. So we have got 9 faculties at CityU, including the College of Business, College of Engineering. Computer science is actually under the College of Engineering, College of Liberal Arts and Social Science. So this is basically the humanities college, College of Science. And we are the only university in Hong Kong to have this veterinary medicine college, okay? So in Hong Kong, there are 2 other universities which offer medicine courses, medicine programs, but those are human medicine, okay? This is animal medicine, veterinary medicine. So CityU is the only university in Hong Kong to establish this College of Veterinary Medicine. And this college here is actually co-developed with Cornell University from the United States. Cornell is supposed to be one of the Ivy League universities in the States. So they, together with us, we developed this College of Veterinary Medicine. And the vet program is a 6-year program. Okay, basically the first 4 years are studies and the last 2 years will be practice. Okay, so any students who got into the vet program, they will be put into clinics to practice in the last 2 years. Okay. Next, we have the School of Creative Media for students who are interested in digital design. Okay, anything related to digital design being taught here at Creative Media. And School of Data Science. CityU is the first university in Hong Kong to establish the School of Data Science. And data science lately has been gaining a lot of popularity among the international students and other students as well. And it's catching up very fast, you know, in terms of the popularity. And the demand here in Hong Kong for data science talents is actually growing by the day. Lastly, we have the School of Energy and Environment and the School of Law. So I mentioned it to you that we have one graduate who came from Robert College from Istanbul. She graduated from the School of Energy and Environment, and she's now working for one of those international energy sustainability companies here in Hong Kong. All right, here, I would like to introduce you to this student here. His name is Sergio, and he's from the school called, I believe it's Chevre, isn't it?
It's called, no, he's from Fırat İlhan in Ankara.
Oh, I made a mistake. Sorry about that.
No problem.
And actually, Serkan here, he joined us with the help from Yasin. Actually, he joined us. I think it was last year he joined us, and this year he currently is in his year 2. He's studying the computer science program, and as you can see here, actually he has recently joined one of our entrepreneurship funding program, and successfully got this funding from us, and that was like 100,000 US dollars, 100,000 Hong Kong dollars. Okay, not US dollars. And together with his friends, he found this company, and they're working on a mobile application, which is about nutrition, empowering people, encouraging people for exercises and teach them about nutrition. So this is actually one of the benefits that students can enjoy at our university, because we have fundings to give away to support the students to start up their own company. Okay, these days we have got to give away many fundings, and to be honest, it's not difficult to apply for this funding. So as long as you have a great business idea and you know how to present your idea to our, to our judges and the advisors, you'll be able, you have a pretty good chance of starting off your own company. And our university, CityU, actually, they provide a lot of support in order to establish your company, in a lot of ways. There are training sections, there are many workshops, to help you with that. So I'm very happy for Serkan. Actually, he's joined us in the 2nd year in computer science, and he already has his own company here. All right, so I talked to you about the faculty just now. So why don't I just show you some of the programs offered at City University of Hong Kong. So I think currently we have over 45 programs at CityU, which could be of your selection if you wish to apply to us. But what I will do here, because there are quite a lot of programs here, I won't be able to cover every single one of them. What I will do here, I think I will share with you one link. Okay, there's one link that I would like to share with you here at this moment. So this is the admissions e-brochure, as you can see. Okay, so this is a PDF document, and I'll put the link in the chat box now. Okay, I think it's been sent to everyone now in the chat box. If you can, if I can draw your attention to the chat box for just 10 seconds, take a look at the link there, click on it and download the PDF. And in the PDF, you'll be able to see the full list of programs. Okay, basically you have an overview of all these 40-something programs. And there's also information about the scholarship, about the cost of studies, okay, how much it will cost to study in Hong Kong. There's information about our university in Hong Kong and information about Hong Kong as well. So it's an all-in-one brochure. Please go ahead and download it and take a look at it if you have time, okay? So going back to the programs here, okay? I'm not sure how many of you would be interested in taking a business program here in Hong Kong, but I'll tell you that, it's a great idea to study business in Hong Kong, because after all, Hong Kong is a highly financialized and commercialized city. Okay, there are a lot of business going on here on a daily basis. So I would like to share with you some of the more popular choices these days with international students who apply to College of Business. Management is definitely one of them here, Department of Management. BBA stands for, Bachelor of Business Administration, okay? And there's marketing here, which is also popular among international students. Last but not least, there's Global Business BBA here. Global Business is a very good program because, usually, and student here at CityU, they will be given a chance to go abroad for student exchange for one time. But for this program here, Global Business, it actually provides 3 times of student exchange opportunities to a single student, okay? So the one time they can go to anywhere in America. The second student exchange, they can go to somewhere in Europe. And the third time is actually up to their own selection. They can choose their own place to go to student exchange. Next, we have the College of Liberal Arts and Social Science. This is basically, like I said, the humanities college, okay? Including psychology, sociology, social work, there's also something related to journalism, media and communication, linguistics and language, if you're into linguistics and language. And then there's College of Engineering, okay? So our university is definitely in Hong Kong, one of the better known universities, which are specialized in the engineering, in the field of engineering. As you can see here, we have basically covering lots of different kinds of engineering courses and programs here. And this year, we have even added aerospace engineering, okay? So this is a new addition to our engineering programs. So it does come in a very wide range, as you can see, from architectural engineering, civil engineering, to computer science. Computer science, by the way, is under College of Engineering. And biomedical engineering these days, especially over the last 2 years, we have seen an increase in applications to biomedical engineering. I think most likely because of the pandemic. People are more interested in entering the pharmaceutical industry than before. Next, we have the College of Science, okay, which include the more traditional science subjects like chemistry and physics. And there we go, the Veterinary Medicine College, Bachelor of Veterinary Medicine, Biological Science, Biomedical Science, School of Creative Media, and School of Data Science, Energy and Environment, and School of Law. Okay, so like I said, if you download the PDF, you'll be able to see this list of programs, okay? International faculty members, basically these are our teaching staff, okay? This is not all of them, of course, this is a photo of some of them, okay? This is to show you how internationalized we are, okay? Because we have over 60% of our faculty members that are being hired from institutions around the world, okay? Some of them are very distinguished lecturers and professors. So you won't be surprised here to see, actually people here at CityU, apart from the students, many teaching staff are also foreigners. International opportunities. Okay, so what does it mean by international opportunities? This is basically what we refer as the student exchange programs. Okay, so CityU, our university in Hong Kong, is particularly well known for having one of the largest extensive network with all these institutions around the world. Okay, we have more than 400 student exchange partners around the world. Okay, they are spread across all these different continents, but there are universities from the States, universities in Europe, in different countries in Europe, and there are even some of this very fine university in Singapore, in Southeast Asia, in North Asia, in Korea, and in Japan as well. So we have all these different partners, and these are all the institutions which you can consider if you are joining our student exchange program. Okay, and like I said, basically every single one student, okay, regardless they are local students or international students. You will be given the chance to go abroad for attending the student exchange program and become an exchange student. And the best part is that we provide financial assistance and exchange scholarship to any students who go abroad for exchange. Okay, next up is our joint bachelor degree program, and this is one of the highlights. Okay, so what is a joint bachelor degree program? Basically, it's a collaboration between our university with a foreign university. And these days, apart from our collaboration with Columbia University, I'm glad to share with you that recently we have also established some other joint bachelor degree programs with some other famous universities, okay? But I'll cover this one first because this is the best one, okay? And this is the longest running one because we have been running this joint bachelor degree program with Columbia for, I think, for 9 years already, okay? So it's a long time collaboration. So how does it work and how you can possibly get into this program, okay? So listen carefully. So firstly, you have to apply to us to become a CityU student, okay? You cannot directly apply to this program with your SAT score, with your YKS national examinations score, or with your A-level or IB. It doesn't work like that, okay? You have to first apply, use your examination results to apply to CityU and become our student. And once you become our student, okay, you are belonging in certain majors, right? So this program here is only open for students coming from certain majors, okay? As you can see here, they're eligible majors. I think at the moment, there are close to 12 of these majors here are being recognized by Columbia University. So what does it mean? It means that, okay, if you are joining us and you are taking one of these eligible majors and finishing your first year of study at CityU, okay, then you will get the university GPA, right? The first year academic performance, you know, from the transcripts. So then you can use your first year academic performance to apply for this program, okay? So basically speaking, you are not applying using your current public examination scores or grades, okay? You're applying using your first year of GPA at CityU to apply for this program, okay? Which is why the first 2 years of studies are taking place here in Hong Kong. Because first year, regardless, you know which program you're from, you will be completing the first year in Hong Kong. And after the first year, you go, if your GPA is high enough, you can go into the selection rounds, okay? If you can get through the selection rounds, you know, there will be GPA screening, there will be written tests, and we will also invite the deans at college deans from Columbia University to fly over to Hong Kong, and they will conduct interview at our university to interview, you know, the students who got into the selection rounds, okay? If you can get through all of this and you get selected into this program, then you will complete the second year of study in Hong Kong. And then in the third year and the fourth year, you'll be flying over to New York to attend Columbia University, okay? To complete your degree also in 4 years. But there's one exception though, okay? If you are our computer science student, you will have to take a total of 5 years to complete this program, okay? And so some of you may ask why you're discriminating these CS students, okay? This is not discrimination. So basically, in the third year of study, basically it's not a year of study for computer science students. It's a whole year of internship, okay? It's a paid internship. So, which is why for computer science students, they have to complete the first 2 years of studies here in Hong Kong. In the third year, they will have to attend a whole year of paid internship. You get money from that. And then once you finish the internship, and then you will proceed to go to Columbia University to complete your degree. So that's 5 years for them. But for the rest of the programs, other majors, it's 4 years, okay? And the best part about this program is that, you know, you will get 2 degrees from after graduating from this program, 1 degree from CityU, the other degree coming from Columbia University. So both sides recognize this program here. And in terms of the fee structure, okay, fee is important, okay? So if you're studying in Hong Kong, you'll be paying according to CityU's fee structure, which I will cover by the end of this part of this presentation. And if you're studying in the Columbia years, you will be paying according to Columbia's fee structure, okay? Which I won't lie to you, to be completely honest, okay? It will be expensive. But the thing is, you know, if you're getting our scholarship from CityU, you can carry forward your scholarships into the Columbia years. And on top of that, Columbia University will also provide additional financial aids to the students attending their university. So that will partially cover the cost. Okay, I mentioned it to you that we also have more joint bachelor degree programs these days. Okay, and the latest addition to the list of programs, we have the collaboration with University of Edinburgh from Scotland and the University of Manchester from UK. So these two programs here, as you can see, they are only open to certain majors. Okay, say for example, the one in Edinburgh is for computing mathematics students. Manchester is for chemistry students. Okay, but there are also some other choices for some other students taking different majors. Let's say there's Lufana University of Bloomberg for creative media students, and there's National Taiwan University for students from business stream or from certain engineering programs. All these programs here, you see, they are 4 years program, 2 years in Hong Kong, 2 years in a foreign place. Graduate destinations. Okay, so earlier I told you about the story of our recent Turkish graduate who's now working in this sustainability company. But then, of course, we have many other international students who do not just come from Turkey, they come from all parts of the world. So where do our graduates go, after completing the bachelor degree? As you can see here, this is the latest statistics. Over 70%, 70% of them, after they graduate, they will enter the job market here in Hong Kong. And in Hong Kong, like I said, there are many job opportunities and many big names are here in Hong Kong. So many of them actually end up working for big corporations here or big organizations, not necessarily company. And the remaining of them, 17%, they would proceed to study in some other famous institutions. Campus life. Okay, unfortunately today I didn't manage to look for one of our Turkish student representatives to share with you guys their stories, because right now they're busy attending their midterm examinations. Sorry about that. So you see all these photos here, are taken on our campus. Okay, before the pandemic. Okay, during the pandemic, also the last 2 years, I think we face a similar situation because of the social distancing. A lot of activities were suspended. Okay, but now this year, as in Hong Kong, we are controlling the pandemic very effectively. This year, we are actually seeing student exchange programs, exchange students coming over to Hong Kong again. Okay, we have got a lot of exchange students and international students coming over to study on the campus these days. And you see, as you can see here, this is the Turkish flag, I believe. So we have all this cultural events over the year, okay, which is organized by different, students coming from all parts of the world. Whole experience, okay. So what does it mean by whole? Okay, I always have to explain this word to foreign students. Okay, whole is basically a term we use to describe the student dormitory or the student residence. Okay, so basically whole experience means the dormitory experience. So on the right hand side, you see this is a typical double room, a room for 2 persons. Okay, so most of our international students, they will be living in the double room in the first 2 years of studies. Okay, so how does our accommodation policy work? Okay, so basically, like I said, 4 years of bachelor degree studies, right? In most cases, except for the veterinary medicine program. So the first 2 years, basically our university will provide you with the on-campus accommodation, okay? But as you proceed into the 3rd year and you become a senior student, there will be a chance, that you have to leave off campus. But don't worry about that, because these days we even have this off-campus accommodation, okay? So on-campus accommodation rooms looks like this, and it's located right next to the academic campus. Campus life, again, sports teams and student associations. We have got a lot of this, actually too many to mention. I think we have close to 100 all kinds of this hobby clubs, and we have got a whole bunch of sports teams here. Basically, I would imagine, whatever kinds of sports you would like to play, you'll be able to find a team here, pretty much. Okay, so here comes the part about fees, scholarship, and application procedures, which are particularly important. For admissions arrangements, I know that today there might be some of you coming from IB school, or I'm not sure whether there will be students from A-level school, the Cambridge program school. There could be students from YKS, taking the national Turkish examinations as well. So basically, the first thing I would like to tell you, regardless which curriculum you're from, YKS, SAT, ACT, AP, IB, A-levels, you are all accepted at CityU. Okay, we recognize all these kinds of qualifications. But for IB student or for Cambridge A-level students here, there's a special admissions arrangement. If you are taking your public examinations, and before taking your public examinations, you have attended 13 years of schooling, okay, then you can consider applying to certain programs at our university, which offer you the advanced standing 1 entrance scheme. This is the route actually which allows you to skip the first year of study and go directly into the second year. Okay, you start off in the second year directly, and you complete your bachelor degree program in 3 years' time. Okay, but this is the option only available for the ones who have taken 13 years of schooling before attending your IB DP examinations or your A-level examinations. Okay, but of course you still have to get pretty good grades in order to be considered for the scheme here. All right, so next up is the entrance requirement, and be noted of this. Okay, this is the minimum entrance requirement. This does not represent the admission requirement, and obviously it's not the scholarship requirement. Okay, so I think you all understand this. When you apply to a university, there's the minimum entrance requirement, which is this, and there's the admission requirement, which is higher than the minimum entrance requirement, and it will be different across different academic departments. Some programs, they are more competitive. They might have a higher admission criteria. Some of them, they might have an average admission criteria, as you can understand. And on top of all that, there's a scholarship requirement. Okay, so there are 3 levels when you apply to a university. So let's take a look at the entrance requirement here for, basically, as you can see here, Turkey. If you're taking any of this diploma, you're attending any of this diploma, and you're taking the YKS examinations, you will be accepted. You can apply to us. And for IB students, this is the minimum. You have to get 30 out of 45, to reach the minimum bar. And for A-level students, this is the criteria here. And as you can see, there's actually an English requirement too. Okay. I don't think the English requirement is written here for IB students, but I can tell you about that. Okay, so the English requirement for IB students is to attain a score of 3 out of 5 from your IB English. Okay, as long as you can get a 3 out of 5, you won't be needing to attend this IELTS or TOEFL examinations. Okay, but I know some of you guys will go for a TOEFL or IELTS anyways, if you wish to apply for overseas. But that's just to let you know that, in case you're taking IB and taking IB English and you attain a 3 or 4 or 5, you won't need to take IELTS if you apply to us. So entrance requirement again for SAT students. Okay. By the way, I was not showing you the SAT entrance requirement, but I will share with you a link later on. Okay, which we can find all this minimum entrance requirement for different qualifications and SAT included. Okay. So this is the English language requirement for SAT students. Okay, as you can see here, ACT as well. Don't worry about this. I promise you, I'll share with you a link in the chat box later on where you can find all this information. Oh, this is actually the link. Right. So let me just copy this link here into the chat box. Okay. All right. So next up is the cost of studies here. Okay. So I think you'll be curious to find out, how much it will cost, to study in Hong Kong compared to other places. So in short, actually, Hong Kong offers you a high quality education at a relatively more affordable cost comparing to most countries in the world. Compared to the States, compared to UK, Canada, Australia, we're actually way more affordable. The tuition fee, it's $18,000 across, a single year. Okay, so this will not change. When you join a university, this will not be adjusted. Okay, so you'll be paying the same amount of tuition fee across the 4 years. Cost of living, depending on your lifestyle, it could vary from one person to the next. So it's on average $4,600. Accommodation, if you're living on campus, like I said, for first 2 years, you will be living on campus. The accommodation expenses will be close to $2,000. And altogether, if you add up the tuition fee, the cost of living, and the accommodation, on-campus accommodation, so each year it will cost you, a single year will cost you around this much, okay, $24,700. In terms of Turkish lira, this is according to the latest conversion rate. I believe, the other day I was watching news, I was kind of surprised to see that the Turkish lira has been devalued quite a lot. There has been some kind of I believe there has been a recent economic downturn or something in Turkey, which makes the Turkish lira depreciate a little bit. So this is the latest currency rate. Okay, so you can take this for reference. In the final 2 years, like I said, if you're living off campus, you see the difference here is actually the accommodation expenses. If you're living off campus, you will likely have to go for a more slightly more higher cost, accommodation option. So which is why the cost is a little bit higher than the first 2 years. Okay, entrance awards. This is the most, I believe this is the most important thing here. So this is the ground which will be given to any Turkish passport holding students. Okay, so if you are applying to us and you can show us in your application that you're holding this Turkish passport, you will automatically be getting this amount of money every year. Okay, so this is a pretty much guaranteed money that you can get as long as you are holding a Turkish passport. So the amount of money here is close to $4,000 every year. And this is renewable. Okay, you can basically get this every year. But of course, there's one single condition here. And the condition is not based on your academic performance. Okay, it has nothing to do with your grades. Okay, as long as you can attend some of our voluntary activity to enhance the internationalization at our university, you can then renew this money for subsequent year. So this is very straightforward. Okay, I believe as you can see, if you apply to us with Turkish passport, you get this money. And apart from this, we also have this sports scholarship. I'm not sure whether you think very good sports players, students who are into sports. If they're at national level, national level player, very good player representing the country, they can consider applying to us with this sports scholarship here. So we are recognizing all these 18 kinds of sports currently. Okay, so this is the entrance scholarships here. Okay, earlier I told you about the grants. I mentioned a little bit about scholarships. So the entrance scholarships are basically based on your academic performance from your public examinations. Okay, so some other universities in the West, I know they have a more holistic approach when they give out scholarships, but here our scholarships are merit-based scholarships that is based on your performance from the public examinations. Even if you're from the YKS examinations, SAT, okay, those are the examinations that you have to get higher scores from in order to get the scholarships. So it comes in 3 different amounts, starting with half tuition scholarship here. Okay, so I have done the currency conversion as well, so you can take a look at this in Turkish liras. And full tuition scholarship covering all the annual tuition fee. Okay, and the top scholarship here, the highest amount, it will not just cover the tuition fee, but it will also support your on-campus accommodation expenses. And there's also extra money that support your daily expenses every year. Okay, so then the next question you ask, is how can I get, how high the score do I have to attain in order to get the scholarship, right? So I think I have got the latest reference from IB qualifications, which I might be able to share with you now. For SAT, I will have to check. Okay. For YKS, I would recommend students, if you're listening, okay, by the end of the presentation section, I will share with you my contact information, okay? My WhatsApp number is also there. So if you would like to find out the scholarship criteria, you can reach out to me individually, and I can talk to you in text messenger or by email, okay? But for IB, I do remember that for IB students, the minimum bar for reaching the half tuition scholarship criteria is to get a score of 38, okay? 38 is the minimum bar that you have to reach to get the half scholarship, okay? So you can imagine if you get higher than 38, then you have a higher chance of getting the higher amount of scholarships. But here, as you can see here, all these scholarships here, apart from the top scholarship, if you're getting a full scholarship or half scholarship, you will be at the same time be given the diversity grant. Okay, so that's a combination of the 2 different money. Okay, if you're getting academic scholarships, you can also get a diversity grant at the same time. So which makes, in other words, if you're getting full scholarship together with the diversity grant, the total money that you will get is actually quite similar to the money you will get from the top scholarship. Okay, so which is also why if you're getting top scholarship, you won't be able to receive diversity grant, because the top scholarship is is reaching the maximum amount of money that we're giving away. So top diversity grant is not available for top scholarship recipients, okay? Only available for full scholarship, half tuition scholarship recipients, or the ones who are not getting scholarship, they can also get diversity grant. So all the scholarship you see here, they are renewable, okay? And to renew them, you have to attain a score of 3.4 from the GPA, university GPA. The full score of GPA here at CityU is 4.2, okay? Full score is 4.2. If you're getting a 3.4 on average, okay, then you can renew the scholarship for another year, okay? So what is 3.4 out of 4.2? That's basically, in terms of letter grades, that will be between B plus and an A, okay? In between B plus and an A. If you can achieve that, you can renew your scholarship. And so far, I think more than 95% of our international students, they're able to renew their scholarship. It's not too difficult thing to do. Post-entrance awards, okay? There are actually a lot of other scholarship opportunities. Once you join CityU, you will actually discover more scholarship opportunities, you know. Some scholarships are being offered by private donors, from private companies, from banks, you know. They offer all sorts of money to our students, you know, as long as you can excel in your academics, and sometimes non-academic achievement is also considered for certain scholarships. So here's the part about the application timeline, okay? Right now, we're by the end of November, okay? So a few more days later on, that will be December, okay? So we have gone past the early deadline already, but it's still fine, you know, as long as, if you wish to apply to us, and I would encourage you to apply to us earlier. If you can apply to us before the regular deadline, you will have a higher chance to be considered for admission chances in terms of. And for scholarships, you can be considered for that. Okay, technically speaking, if you apply before the regular deadline, that's the cutoff point. Okay, after the regular deadline, we cannot guarantee that you can be considered for scholarships. Okay, but then for diversity grant, if you're applying late, you will still be able to be getting that. Okay, that's another thing. But for academic merit-based scholarships, okay, I would encourage you to apply before the regular deadline. And the regular deadline is set on 13th of January next year, which is more or less 2 months away from now, 1.5 months, I guess. Okay. So our academic year begins every year at late August, or sometime around late August or early September. Okay, so around May is the time when the students apply for the student visa. So finally, okay, this is just final reminders here. If you're applying to any of our programs, basically, you know, if you're applying to CityU, you can choose 3 programs at the same time. You can apply to 3 programs of your own choices. They will be parallelly considered. And our admissions is on a rolling basis, as you can see here. So if you apply to us, let's say, for example, if you're applying to us at this point in time, okay, then you can expect the conditional offers to come out. The release of the results will come out probably after 3 to 4 weeks. Okay. So all applications will be considered for scholarships automatically. Okay, as long as you can submit all these required documents to us. You don't have to separately apply for any of the scholarships. The entrance scholarships. We will look at the transcripts. We will sometimes look at the predicted grades to determine, okay, what will be the conditional offer for you, the conditional scholarships. Okay. So what you are required to submit to us if you apply to us is that, you know, we will be needing your official transcripts from your latest 2 years of studies. And I will assume in your cases that would be grade 12 and grade 11, okay, the in-school transcripts. And if you have not taken your public examinations, which I think is the case for most students, unless you're taking A-levels, because A-levels, I think it took place in November. So you will have to submit a set of predicted grades, okay? And the predicted grades have to be given to you by your school or by your counselors, okay? Statement of purpose, you have to write up a very simple essay. If you apply to us online, there will be a box where you have to type your essay there to tell us about why you're applying to us, you know, introduce yourself to us, something like that. Doesn't have to be too long, okay? Doesn't have to be too complicated, okay? Just be straightforward, precise and concise. Tell us about yourself in the statement of purpose. Proof of English proficiency. like I said, okay, if you're from YK, by the way, if you're taking YKS examinations, you will have to take IELTS in that case, okay? So in that case, you will have to submit to us either the TOEFL English test examination results or the IELTS test, results. So if you're applying to us online, then by the end of the application, to complete the application, you have to settle a application fee of $58 US, okay? And if you're applying for School of Creative Media, like it's mentioned here, okay, you have to submit a portfolio separately, because that's for, I mentioned that's for digital design people. So we will look into your art portfolio if you're applying to the creative media program. For the rest of them, it doesn't matter. We're just looking at your transcripts and all that. Okay, so this is finally it. So before asking you guys to ask me questions, to check with you guys, I would like to share with you these links here. There are quite a number of links here. If you would be interested to find out more information about our university, you can copy this link to your computer or your smartphone and check them out later on, okay? I would recommend you to take a look at this link here. This is the list of programs link, and I can open it up for you to take a look, okay? So, okay, once you open this list of programs, you will basically see all this 45 or 46 programs offer for your selection, okay? There's next to each and every program, you see that there's an apply now button there, okay? And if you click on one particular program, let's say, for example, the English program here, you will find the contact information, you'll find the program video, you'll find the information about the teaching components in the program and all that. Sometimes for certain programs, they might even disclose the criteria, the admissions criteria that you can take reference from. So you have to check them really. Okay. So last but not least, this is my contact information. Okay. So like I said, thanks for you guys who are still here. I think some of you might have gone for dinner already. This is I guess this is the time in Turkey for having dinner, I guess. This is late night here already. This is almost midnight here in Hong Kong now. We are, I think, 5 hours ahead of Turkey in terms of the time. So this is my email here, and this is my WhatsApp number. Okay, if you would be interested to know about the scholarship criteria, if you're taking SAT, if you're taking IB or even YKS, please reach out to me by email or by WhatsApp. I will be happy to share with you privately or individually. Okay. So this is it. And lastly, I would just like to know whether any of you would have any questions for me. Okay, after this long presentation section, I believe I've been talking for an hour. I didn't realize that.
Okay. It's a pleasure to listen to you, but I also want to thank you for your presentation and on this impressive opportunity. And we know it's very late for you, so special thanks for accommodating that.
It's fine. I'm just checking to see whether the students have any questions. If not, it's still fine. You might have to take some time to digest all this information. There's a whole lot of information here. So if you have any questions afterwards, please feel free to reach out to me by email or by WhatsApp, or you may even reach out to Yasim, to help you with your application.
Absolutely.
So this is it. Okay, so I won't keep you for any longer. So this is and thank you very much, Yasim, for having me.
Thank you for joining us. We really enjoyed. I enjoyed it. I hope everybody else did. And I know we have at least a couple people here in the group applying this year. So
great, excellent.
Yeah,
wonderful.
And hopefully some more later next year.
Yes, wonderful. That would be okay. So let us stay in touch. And this is it. Bye bye.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Have a good night. Bye bye.